Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Boxiest, and today we're going to continue the What If series. What if events had gone differently? And in this What If, we're going to change the history of Cobra Kai. What if Kenny kicked Anthony off the balcony during the events of Cobra Kai Season 4? So in this timeline, the events of Cobra Kai Season 4 would still happen. Anthony would still bully Kenny in this timeline, so Anthony would still go to Robbie, and he would still join Cobra Kai. Those events would stay the same. Kenny and Robbie would continue their training. Anthony and his friends would continue to pick on Kenny, and Anthony would steal his clothes. So the rivalry between Kenny and Anthony would continue to grow. Danny would find Kenny's Cobra Kai hoodie, and he would confront Anthony. But Anthony would still tell him that he was having trouble with a kid from school. So Anthony would still try out Miyagi-Do, but he would show no interest. So Daniel and Anthony would still talk, and Anthony would tell him not to worry about Kenny. So the next day of school, Anthony would try apologizing to Kenny, but Kenny wouldn't want to accept his apology, and he would still call him a pusso. This would make Anthony mad, so Anthony and his friends would chase Kenny, but this time Kenny would run up the stairs, and Kenny would have nowhere to run. Anthony's friends would start attacking Kenny, so Kenny would have no choice but to fight back, and he would start to take him down. Some of the students would gather around to watch, including Leah, and she would want to get them to stop fighting, but Kenny would be too angry. Kenny would be fighting with anger, and with no mercy. Eventually Anthony would be the only one left. Kenny would be blinded with rage, and he would kick Anthony. So in this timeline, Kenny would kick Anthony off the balcony. Everyone would be shocked. Kenny would realize what he had done, and he would look down to see Anthony. Leah would shout at Kenny, saying, "Kenny, what did you do?" An ambulance would show up, and they would take Anthony to the hospital. Kenny would be frozen in fear, and Kenny would be arrested. Daniel, Amanda, and Sam would rush to the hospital, and they would be devastated. Anthony would be in a coma and paralyzed in this timeline. Daniel would be angry, and in juvie, Sean would be surprised to see Kenny, and he would ask him what happened. So Kenny would tell him everything. This is when Robbie would find out what Kenny had done, and he would blame himself for Kenny's actions. So Robbie would want to go visit Kenny in juvie. Kenny would be happy to see Robbie, and Robbie would tell him that everything was going to be okay. But Sean wouldn't be happy to see Robbie, and he would blame Robbie for Kenny's actions, and Sean would protect Kenny in juvie. Miguel would find out what happened to Anthony, so he would go visit him, and he would be there to comfort Sam. Robbie would also try visiting Anthony, and the LaRussos would be surprised to see Robbie. Robbie would break down, and he would apologize to Daniel. Robbie would say that it was his fault that Anthony ended up this way, and that he was the one that trained the kid that hurt Anthony. And at first, Danny would be mad, but he would see that Robbie was truly ashamed. So Danny would forgive Robbie, and Robbie would quit Cobra Kai in this timeline. Miyagi-Do would shut down, and the All Valley tournament would once again be cancelled, but Eagle Fang and Cobra Kai would remain open. Eventually Anthony would wake up again, and he would get the same surgery that Miguel got. Miguel would help Anthony with his recovery process, much like Johnny helped him. And that is where I'm going to end this What If. Thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think would have happened if Kenny kicked Anthony off the balcony during the events of Cobra Kai Season 4? Let me know in the comments below. YouTube lets me know that the majority of you are not subscribed, so if you guys could subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And I'll see you guys next time.